Yes, Your Honor, I will start by indicating, Your Honor, that it is true that actually not only the first accused persons, but all the accused persons, Your Honor, are being arraigned before you, Your Honor, outside the mandatory 24-hour limit. Your Honor, the 5th and 7th accused persons were arrested on Monday the 17th day of this month, 2023. So that we are just shy of the 5 working day period, with the 6th and 2nd accused persons being arrested on the 18th, alongside the 1st accused person. Your Honor, we will not belabor this fact because we will pursue it at the High Court in terms of the violations, Your Honor. But that is important because it tells you a lot as to why we are even addressing you at this time, Your Honor. Your Honor, what has happened, and in a nutshell, there is a skit that has been written and, Your Honor, the duty of the investigators and with a lot of respect to the battalion of prosecutors, senior prosecutors, is just to ensure that these accused persons fit that skit. Your Honor, there is no iota of evidence that has been placed before you either through their affidavit, Your Honor, or the oral arguments that suggest that there is any compelling reason, Your Honor. None whatsoever. Your Honor, if you look at what they have attempted to indicate as compelling reasons, Your Honor, and that is from paragraph 7 to paragraph 12. Your Honor, you will see there's a repeated use of the word reasonably believed. Reasonably believed. But you're not being told, Your Honor, reasonably believed by who to sustain this particular very heavy averment. Who is this who is reasonably believing? And on what basis? You do not have that. Your Honor, in fact, maybe this may not go on record, but this is the first affidavit I've seen from, HSC Victor Juma Witi that has no annexure at all. The very first one, I've never seen. And that tells you there's nothing. Witi can never do such an affidavit. There's nothing.
You're not for clarity of record. It's done by the investigating officer.
I check that. It is okay, Your Honor, but you read it for yourself, and I do agree it cannot do that. However, Your Honor, you will notice that even on the substance of the charge, Your Honor.
He has a similar.
Yes?
He has a similar name.
It is my learned, but he has clarified, so I leave that point.
Okay.
But Your Honor, if you look at even the charge itself, to show you how they have actually stretched to the point of breaking a back, that is what the prosecution has done. Your Honor, they are telling you in very good English that these events happened on the 7th and on the 18th day of July. 18th, 2 days.
On which days?
On the 7th day of July and the 18th day of July. That is on the particulars of the offense. And Your Honor, they are telling you further that these events happened at Kamukunji. Your Honor, they have, and this is common knowledge even to them, they have admitted that Babu was, the first accused was arrested at JKIA. On the same 18th, at around 10, because he landed at 25 hours. So, Your Honor, the question is, do we have two Babu Owinos? Does he have a clone that was at Kamukunji that day? Your Honor, it's able for the court's eyes, the ticket that says clearly he was landing at 21:25. Your Honor, if you look at further to demonstrate the fact that there is no compelling evidence, and indeed, even the substance of the charge is something that the court ought to look at in admitting the accused persons to bond. Your Honor, I'll refer you to paragraph 7.
Yes, correct.
Your Honor, they are telling you, and my learned friend Mr. Ringo has told you that there are people who have been rioting or who have been picketing, especially where the first accused person represents that constituency. So that is the compelling reason you are being told. Your Honor, there is a decision or a ruling by your brother, and that is the Honorable Justice Mogambi. Your Honor, that is in the case, if I may. In the case of Edwin Sishana Amboso versus LSK and 4 others, we have provided that to yourself and to the prosecution. That is HCC petition 255 of 2023. Edwin Sishana Amboso. Your Honor, it says in order 2 and 3, and I want to wind up at that point, that it is the responsibility of persons who have announced and organized the said demonstrations to provide guidance and leadership to the participants. Your Honor, the first accused person is not even a principal in the Azimio coalition. He wishes he would have been. He's not. And there is no evidence that has been given that he organized any of these protests. Which in any case, Your Honor, remains legal.
Yes,
It remains legal because your brother declined to injunct the said expression under Article 37. Your Honor, Order 3 is also very important. It says acts of violence and destruction are personal, and the relevant authorities must deal with individuals. Acts of violence or destruction of property are personal crimes. So it cannot be a crime where vicarious liability, like the prosecution is trying to adduce. Your Honor, the charge that has been prepared, Your Honor, the history of this charge is very important, and I think this court will bring this matter to a rest. Your Honor, the Section 77(1) of the Penal Code, Your Honor, was brought into our laws, Your Honor, in 1960 as an amendment. So that it didn't originate from the Britons. It's something that was brought here by the Britons themselves. It wasn't in their own laws. And the purpose of that, Your Honor, was to ensure that this country does not get independence. It was to deal with the Mau Mau freedom fighters. That was the purpose of this particular session, that the DPP is actually telling us to use today. It was to suppress. So that is what this court is faced with in terms of this charge, Your Honor. It is to take us back to those days and those people who never wished this country to get independence. That's exactly the essence of this charge. And Your Honor, you will not find even authorities. I think people have been shy to use this section. You will not find authorities in terms of these sections. Courts have been shy, prosecutors have been shy. But today, we are the day where it can be brought in broad daylight. We will deal with it, Your Honor, at a different forum. As I finish, Your Honor, I would want to... Your Honor, I will heavily beg you, and that's why I'm trying to limit these submissions, Your Honor, to know that the first accused person, and I believe even the rest, but for him, he has not eaten, Your Honor, for 3 days. Not eaten, not taken water. 3 days. And because of where he was incommunicado. 3 days, Your Honor. Even Mackenzie was fasting, was eating. Yes, Your Honor, so we really beg. This court is to be used to extend that inhumanity. That is what they are trying to do. And we beg this court, with the powers given to you by the Constitution and the people of Kenya, to give us the chance, Your Honor, to enjoy that. He's not at a flight risk. He's an honorable member of Parliament, as indicated by the Owino. Those are the words he's used, honorable member. And the rest are equally Kenyans. They will come to court. You can put conditions, Your Honor. They will abide by all that. They are willing to abide by all that. Your Honor, lastly, the first accused, Your Honor, is not well. He's actually not well, and I wouldn't want to take a lot of time. He's been denied access to medicine, which he was taking, and I'm so sure he needs to go to hospital after this. So we'll be begging also that is considered, Your Honor. He has a special physician who sees him at Nairobi Hospital. That is all, Your Honor. Maybe my sister, just for gender balance, if you give her just 1 minute, we are trying to do anything.
Thank you very much, Your Honor. There is a maxim.
Sorry, just a moment. Mr. Catch.
Yes.
You are saying that somebody has not taken water for 3 days.
Yes. He has not taken water for 3 days.
How
In fact,
how did you know?
yes.
How did you know?
Pardon?
Sorry, how did you know?
I've actually, we went to Wanguru police station in the morning. We were there even yesterday. We were dispersed. Even advocates couldn't access. But today I've been with him at the basement cells. That's the first time we've been able even to access him. That's how inhuman this has been. He has not taken his ear and talk, and I've confirmed that from him. And I believe...
So you just a moment. Did you give him water yourself?
Your Honor, the conditions down there, and I really empathize with the officers here. There are strict instructions. Even for us to gain access, it wasn't that easy. I even tried to call my colleague. Ryungu is very good at helping us in those issues. But
Your Honor, we attempted to carry water from the gate. We could not be allowed to come in. I'm sorry. We could not be allowed by the police officers to come in with anything.
It's okay. I just wanted to find out why he's talking about it here.
What Mr. Okaj is not telling you is Babu Owino has been shakaholat for the last 3 days.
No, but there was also a tweet that the Mohammed Kajiro said that the police officers treated them very well. So I'm wondering what measure of treatment is it? Do we know 1 minute here he's saying they're not treated, but he tweeted and said the officers were very professional and treated.
You know, I'll deal. No police officers are my plan. I'll deal. I'll defend you.
Thank you very much, Your Honor, for your protection and guidance. The 2010 Constitution that was passed in this country is one of the best documents we have in the country. The act by the prosecution is actually to more of mutilate than safeguard, and we ask this honorable court to safeguard the interests, especially of the accused persons, in line with Article 49 and also Article 50, which gives the right to fair hearing. There is a maxim that says, "He who comes to equity." Sorry. Must come with clean hands. And I wish to submit that the prosecution has not proved that they are coming with clean hands. From the time the first accused person was arrested to the time he has been presented to court, he was denied the right to representation. He was denied access to the basic fundamental rights accorded to each Kenyan. The prosecution, in their own domain, have judged the accused persons and decided to be the judge and the jury. Your Honor, the accused persons, like you've been told by my colleagues, have not been able to eat. Their whereabouts, especially for the first accused persons, was not clear, even to his legal representation. We have been to different police stations from the time he was arrested. And the key question to the prosecution thus is, an accused person has rights safeguarded in this Constitution. Why was the Honorable Babu Owino kept away from his legal team as enshrined in the Constitution? Why was the family not made aware of his whereabouts? And why was he not arraigned in court as per the Article 49F, which talks clearly of the procedures on how to deal with an accused person? Therefore, it is my humble submission that the prosecution have not proven to come with clean hands, like I said. It took them from the time they arrested the accused person to today at 5:20 to come up with this affidavit that is full of assumptions, innuendos, and presumptions. If you look at the affidavit,
Your Honor, this for guidance. I don't like interjection. You had directed and indicated that it should have been done by 6, so the prosecution ended up being curtailed. So we just need direction whether there's a leeway just to continue with the time.
She's waiting now.
As she said, equity comes, still comes with equity.
equity must come with clean hands.
So even as we require equity on
Yes. Bashir, everything that is being said is going on record, so you will not need to repeat
Yes.
what another council has already said.
Much obliged, Your Honor. So, in parting shot, my humble submission to this honorable court is that the accused persons are not at flight risk, and that the affidavit presented before this honorable court does not prove or necessitate reasons why they should be denied bail, and therefore I request this honorable court to protect, uphold, and safeguard the 2010 Constitution. Thank you, Your Honor. I would like to call my senior, Awele, to wind up.